My mother sees things that aren't there, Maya continued softly. She hears voices. She's been like this since I was very small. We have no family, no money for treatment. So I take care of her as best I can. Priya reached out and squeezed Maya's hand, her soft fingers wrapping around Maya's rough, calloused ones. That's not fair. You shouldn't have to do this alone. Life isn't about fair, Maya said again, but this time without bitterness. Just acceptance. They sat in comfortable silence for a moment, the banyan tree's leaves rustling overhead. Finally, Priya spoke. Come back tomorrow. Same time. We can study together, and I'll bring more food. My mother's cook always makes too much anyway. Maya wanted to refuse. She wanted to maintain some dignity, to not be a charity case. But the hunger in her belly and the longing in her heart won out. Okay, she whispered. Thank you. That first lunch under the banyan tree became a daily ritual. Priya would arrive with steel containers packed with food that Maya could never have imagined tasting, delicacies that represented more money than she earned in a month of selling tea packets. And in exchange, Maya shared something far more valuable to Priya, knowledge. Maya discovered that Priya struggled with most subjects, not because she was unintelligent, but because no one had ever explained concepts in ways she could understand. Her expensive tutors talked at her, not to her. They assumed comprehension rather than ensuring it. Maya, who had clawed for every scrap of knowledge, understood the value of making learning accessible. Think of quadratic equations like a story, Maya explained one afternoon, drawing in her notebook. The parabola is a journey. Sometimes you go down before you go up. Sometimes you need to find the exact point where things change direction. That's what we're solving for, the turning point. Priya's face lit up. Oh. That actually makes sense. My tutor just keeps showing me formulas and telling me to memorize them. Formulas are useless if you don't understand why they work, Maya said. Mathematics isn't about memorization. It's about patterns and logic. Once you see the pattern, you can solve anything. Over the following weeks, Priya's grades improved dramatically. Her mathematics teacher, Mr. Kapoor, actually stopped her after class one day. Miss Sharma, your recent test scores have been exceptional. Have you been working with a new tutor? Priya smiled. Something like that, sir. But their friendship wasn't just about academics. Priya brought Maya small gifts, a bar of soap that smelled like flowers, a comb for her tangled hair, a new notebook when the old one filled up. She shared stories about her life, about family dinners in their penthouse apartment, about vacations to places Maya had only read about in discarded magazines. And Maya shared her stories too. About the kind teachers during her brief time in school, about Mrs. Patel and the 6 magical months of hope, about the books she'd found and taught herself from, about her mother's rare lucid moments when Kamala would stroke Maya's hair and sing old songs from her own childhood. You're the smartest person I know, Priya said one day, completely serious. Smarter than any of the students here, smarter than most of the teachers. It's not fair that you can't go to school just because of money. The world isn't built for people like me, Maya said quietly. It's built for people like you. That's wrong, Priya insisted, her voice fierce. That needs to change. But not everyone at Rosewood Academy was as accepting as Priya. Other students had noticed their friendship, and the whispers had started. Maya tried to make herself even more invisible during their meetings, but invisibility only worked when people wanted to ignore you. When they wanted to mock you, they found you easily enough. Is that your new servant? A girl named Reena asked Priya one day, loud enough for Maya to hear from her spot under the banyan tree. Does she do your homework for you? She's my friend, Priya said coldly. And she's tutoring me. Not that it's any of your business. Your friend? Reena laughed, a cruel sound. Priya, she's a street beggar. She probably has diseases. My mother would never let me associate with someone like that. Then I feel sorry for you, Priya shot back. You're missing out on knowing an incredible person because you're too shallow to see past appearances.
Maya's chest tightened with emotion. No one had ever defended her before. No one had ever called her incredible. But the confrontations grew worse. A group of boys started throwing pebbles at Maya when she sat under the tree, aiming for her head. Security guards who had previously ignored her presence, bought off by Priya's generous tips, began harassing her again, threatening to call the police if she didn't leave school property. "They're making this harder," Maya told Priya one afternoon, showing her a fresh bruise on her arm where a stone had struck her. "Maybe I should stop coming. I don't want to cause problems for you." "Absolutely not," Priya said, her jaw set with determination. "You have every right to be here. More right than half these privileged idiots who don't appreciate their education. I'm going to talk to the principal." "Priya, no. That will only make things worse. Maya, I can't just stand by and watch people treat you like this. You're my friend. You're important to me." If you're moved by this story of friendship and determination, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us share more powerful stories that need to be heard. Drop a comment below and tell us what you think about Maya and Priya's friendship. The next day, Priya marched into Principal Deshmukh's office with Maya's notebook in hand, filled with meticulous notes and brilliant observations. The principal, a stern woman in her 50s with sharp eyes and a no-nonsense demeanor, listened as Priya explained the situation. "This girl has been learning outside our classrooms for months," Priya said, opening the notebook. "Look at this work. This is better than most of our students produce. She's brilliant, and she's being treated like a criminal just for wanting to learn." Principal Deshmukh examined the notebook carefully, her expression unreadable. Finally, she looked up at Priya. "Miss Sharma, I appreciate your compassion, but Rosewood Academy has policies. We cannot simply allow unauthorized individuals on campus, no matter how sympathetic their circumstances." "Then authorize her," Priya said. "Give her a scholarship. She's exactly the kind of student this school should be proud to have. Our scholarship program has specific requirements and deadlines." "It's not that simple." "Why not? My father donates millions to this school every year. Surely that should count for something." The principal's expression hardened. "Miss Sharma, I will not be manipulated by threats of withdrawn donations. If you wish to discuss this matter further, I suggest you bring your father to speak with me directly." Priya left the office frustrated but not defeated. If the principal wanted to speak with her father, then that's exactly what would happen. Although the thought terrified her. Rajesh Sharma was a brilliant businessman and a loving father, but he was also traditional in many ways. He had clear ideas about appropriate friendships and social boundaries. How would he react to learning his daughter had befriended a homeless girl? That evening, at dinner in their sprawling penthouse apartment overlooking the Arabian Sea, Priya gathered her courage. "Papa, I need to talk to you about something important." Rajesh Sharma looked up from his dal, his expression shifting to concern. "What is it, beta? Is something wrong at school?" "Not exactly wrong, but..." "Papa, I've made a friend. Her name is Maya. She's been helping me with my studies, and my grades have improved so much because of her." "That's wonderful. I'd noticed your mathematics marks were much better. I'm proud of you." "The thing is, Papa, Maya doesn't actually attend Rosewood. She's been learning by listening outside the classrooms. She lives on the streets with her mother, who is mentally ill. She has no money for school, but she's the smartest person I've ever met." Rajesh's face grew serious. "Priya, where is this conversation going?" "I want to help her, Papa. The school won't give her a scholarship without your intervention. I know it's asking a lot, but if you could just meet her, you'd see what I see. She's special." Her father was quiet for a long moment, his fingers drumming on the table. "How long have you known this girl?" "A few weeks. We meet every day during lunch." "And your mother knows about this?" Priya's mother, Meera, who had been listening quietly, spoke up. "This is the first I'm hearing of it." "I didn't know how to tell you," Priya admitted. I knew you might not approve. But Mama, Papa, Maya is my friend. A real friend.
Not like the other girls at school who only care about designer clothes and whose family has more money.
Maya cares about learning, about ideas, about actually understanding the world. She makes me want to be better.
Rajesh and Mira exchanged a long look, the kind of silent communication that came from 20 years of marriage. I want to meet this girl, Rajesh finally said.
Tomorrow.
Bring her here after school.
Priya's heart leaped. Really? Papa, thank you. I promise you won't regret this. I'm not promising anything yet, he warned.
I just want to meet the girl who has made such an impression on my daughter.
The next day, Maya was terrified.
Priya wanted her to come to the Sharma residence, to meet her father face to face.
Maya had never been inside a building like the one where Priya lived.
She didn't even know how to behave in such a place.
What if he hates me? Maya whispered as they sat under the banyan tree. What if he thinks I'm trying to take advantage of you?
He won't think that, Priya assured her.
My father is a good man. He's fair. Just be yourself. Tell him your story. Show him your notebook. He'll see what I see. But Maya couldn't shake her anxiety.
That afternoon, she went to the public bathroom near the train station and did her best to wash herself clean. She combed her hair until it lay somewhat flat. She put on her least dirty clothes. But looking at herself in the cracked mirror, she still saw a street child. No amount of washing could hide what she was. Priya met her at the building's gate, and they rode the elevator to the 20th floor in silence.
Maya's ears popped from the altitude.
She'd never been this high above the ground except when looking up from below. The Sharma apartment was beyond anything Maya had imagined. Marble floors, crystal chandeliers, floor-to-ceiling windows offering views of the entire city. The furniture alone probably cost more than most people in Mumbai earned in a lifetime.
Maya felt like she was contaminating the space just by being there.
Rajesh Sharma stood in the living room, a tall man with graying hair and sharp, intelligent eyes. He wore casual clothes, but even his casualness screamed wealth. He studied Maya for a long moment, and she resisted the urge to run. So you're Maya, he said finally.
Priya has told me a great deal about you.
Yes, sir, Maya managed to say, her voice barely audible.
Don't be afraid. I'm not going to hurt you. Come, sit down. Tell me about yourself.
Maya perched on the edge of a sofa that felt softer than any bed she'd ever imagined, clutching her notebook like a lifeline. Priya sat beside her, offering silent support. I understand you've been learning outside the classrooms at Rosewood, Rajesh continued.
That shows remarkable determination. Why is education so important to you? Maya took a deep breath. Because it's the only way out, sir. I'm smart, I know I am. But being smart doesn't matter if no one gives you a chance to prove it.
Education is the difference between spending my whole life on the streets and maybe, someday, having a different future.
It's the difference between surviving and actually living. And your mother? Priya mentioned she's ill?
Pain flickered across Maya's face.
Yes, sir.
She has a sickness in her mind.
She sees things, hears things that aren't real.
She used to be a teacher, before the illness took her. Now she can't take care of herself, so I take care of her. That's a heavy burden for a child.
She's my mother, sir. She didn't choose to be sick. Rajesh nodded slowly. May I see your notebook? Maya handed it over with trembling hands.
He opened it and began reading, his expression growing more surprised with each page. Minutes passed in tense silence as he examined her meticulous notes, her solved problems, her thoughtful questions written in the margins. This is exceptional work, he said finally. This is university-level comprehension in some subjects. How old are you?
12, sir. 12, he repeated, shaking his head in amazement. Priya, you were right. She's brilliant. He looked at Maya directly. Why should I help you, Maya? I'm not asking to be cruel. I'm asking because I help many people, and I need to understand what makes you different. Maya met his eyes, finding courage she didn't know she possessed. I'm not different, sir. There are probably hundreds of kids like me in Mumbai, smart kids who never get a chance because they were born in the wrong circumstances. The only difference is that Priya saw me. She gave me a chance to prove what I could do. I'm not asking for charity. I'm asking for opportunity. Give me the tools, and I promise I'll build something with them. I'll work harder than any student at that school. I'll prove that you made the right choice. If Maya's courage is inspiring you, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next in her incredible journey. Rajesh was quiet for a long moment. Then he stood and walked to the window, looking out over the city. Mira, he called to his wife, who had been watching from the dining room. Come here, please. Priya Sharma joined them, an elegant woman with kind eyes and threads of silver in her hair. Rajesh explained the situation to her, showing her Maya's notebook. They spoke in low tones for several minutes while Maya and Priya waited with bated breath. Finally, they returned to the living room. Maya, Rajesh said, I'm going to ask you something that might seem strange. I want to meet your mother. Maya's heart stopped. Sir, she's not well. She doesn't make sense most of the time. I don't want you to judge her. I'm not going to judge her, Rajesh said gently. But if I'm going to help you, I need to understand your full situation. I need to see where you're coming from. Will you take me to her? Maya looked at Priya, who nodded encouragingly. Okay, Maya whispered. Okay, sir. An hour later, Rajesh Sharma's Mercedes pulled up near the Andheri overpass. His driver looked uncomfortable. This was clearly not a neighborhood they frequented. Maya led Rajesh and Priya to the spot under the overpass where she and her mother lived. Kamala was having one of her worst days. She sat rocking back and forth, muttering rapidly to invisible companions, her clothes disheveled, her hair wild. When she saw strangers approaching, she began to scream. The walls have eyes. They sent you. Get away. Get away. Amma, it's me, Maya said softly, kneeling beside her mother. It's Maya. These are friends. They won't hurt us. But Kamala kept screaming, pulling at her hair, backing herself against the concrete pillar. Maya held her gently, speaking in soothing tones, the way she'd done 1,000 times before. Rajesh watched the scene with an expression that Maya couldn't read. She prepared herself for his revulsion, for his decision to walk away from the crazy woman and her daughter. Who would want to deal with this? But when Rajesh finally spoke, his voice was thick with emotion. How long has she been like this? Since I was 5, sir. It got worse over the years. And you've been caring for her all this time? A child, caring for a parent? She took care of me when I was little, before the sickness. It's my turn now. Rajesh turned away for a moment, and Maya was shocked to see him wipe his eyes. When he faced her again, his expression was resolved. Maya, she needs medication, therapy, possibly hospitalization. And you need education, stability, safety. I'm going to arrange all of this. Maya couldn't breathe. Sir, I don't understand. Why would you do this? Because Priya is right. Life isn't fair. But sometimes, those of us who have been given much can tip the scales a little bit toward fairness. Because you remind me of why I worked so hard to build my company, so that I could make a difference. And because no child should have to live like this, especially not a child as brilliant and caring as you. Tears streamed down Maya's face. I don't know what to say. Say you'll accept my help. Say you'll work hard. Say you'll prove that education and opportunity can transform a life. I will, sir. I promise. I'll make you proud. You already have, Rajesh said simply.
Within days, Kamala was admitted to Lotus Psychiatric Hospital, one of the best mental health facilities in Mumbai. The doctors were optimistic that with proper medication and treatment, her condition could be managed, though she would likely need long-term care. Maya moved into the Sharma residence, into a room that was hers alone, with a real bed and clean sheets and a window that looked out over the city. The first night, she couldn't sleep. The bed was too soft, the room too quiet, the cleanliness too overwhelming. She found herself missing the familiar sounds of the overpass, the hardness of the cardboard beneath her. But Priya came and sat with her, talking until Maya's eyes grew heavy. "You belong here," Priya whispered. "Not here in this apartment specifically, but in a place of safety and opportunity.
You've always belonged there. The world just needed to catch up." Rajesh enrolled Maya at Rosewood Academy with a full scholarship in his daughter's class.
He bought her uniforms, books, supplies, everything she needed. He even gave her a tablet loaded with educational materials. "Learn everything you can," he told her.
"The world tried to keep you invisible. Don't let it succeed." Maya's first day as an official student at Rosewood Academy was terrifying.
She walked through the gates she'd spent months hiding outside of, wearing a crisp uniform that actually fit, carrying books that were actually hers.
Students stared at her, some with curiosity, others with recognition and hostility.
In class, Mrs. D'Souza did a double take when she saw Maya sitting at a desk. "You're the girl from outside the window," she said.
"I always wondered why you came back day after day even when we chased you away."
"Because I needed to learn, ma'am," Maya said simply.
"Well, you're here now. Let's see what you can do." What Maya could do turned out to be extraordinary.
She answered questions that stumped the other students.
She solved problems others found impossible. She asked questions that made the teachers think harder about their own assumptions.
Within weeks, she was the top student in most of her classes.
But the adjustment wasn't easy.
Maya struggled with feeling like she didn't belong, like she was playing dress-up in a life that wasn't really hers. The other students, most of them, kept their distance. Only Priya and a few other kind souls accepted her fully.
One afternoon, Maya found crude words written on her locker: "street trash."
Her eyes burned with tears, but she held them back. She wouldn't give her tormentors the satisfaction. Priya found her there, staring at the words. Without hesitation, Priya grabbed a marker and wrote underneath, "and future genius."
Watch and learn.
They cleaned the locker together, two friends from different worlds, united by something stronger than circumstance.
Months passed. Kamala's condition improved with treatment, though she would never fully recover.
But she had lucid moments now, times when she recognized Maya and spoke clearly. During one visit, she held Maya's hand and said, "You've always been so strong, my beautiful girl."
"Stronger than I ever was. I'm so proud of you." "I'm proud of you too, Amma," Maya whispered. "You're fighting. You're getting better. Because you gave me a reason to fight. You never gave up on me."
As the school year progressed, Maya began to find her place. She started a tutoring program for struggling students, paying forward the help Priya had given her. She joined the mathematics club and quickly became its star member. She even made a few more friends, students who could see past her background to the person she was. One evening, sitting on the Sharma's balcony with Priya, watching the sun set over Mumbai, Maya reflected on her journey. "A year ago, I was invisible," she said softly. "Just another street kid everyone looked through. Now I have a home, a school, a future. It doesn't feel real sometimes." "It's real," Priya assured her. "You made it real. My father gave you opportunity, but you're the one doing the work. You're the one proving every day that you deserve to be here." "I was always here, though," Maya said thoughtfully. "I was always smart, always capable, always worthy. I just needed someone to see me." "I saw you," Priya said, smiling. "And I'm so glad I did. You're not just my friend, Maya. You're my sister." Maya smiled back, tears in her eyes. "You're my sister too." Below them, the city of Mumbai spread out in all its chaotic glory, millions of lights representing millions of lives. Somewhere down there, other invisible children were fighting to survive, to learn, to be seen.
Maya thought about them often.
She thought about the girl she'd been, pressing herself against walls just to hear a lesson, running from security guards, stealing knowledge because it was the only thing she could steal that might change her life.
Someday, Maya said, I'm going to help other kids like me. Kids who are invisible. I'm going to make sure they get chances too.
We'll do it together, Priya said.
That's what sisters do.